All right, we're here today with Sarah McLaughlin, who is the chair of the Women in Cancer Surgery Working Group. Sarah, can you tell us a little of the background of WICS?
The Women in Cancer Surgery Group started in about 2022. And honestly, I think it was the brainchild of Anna Poliak, our CEO. And it was right around the time that Sandra Wong and Kelly Hunt had back-to-back presidencies of the SSO. And so really recognized that there was really an opportunity and a need amongst our members to address some of the personal and professional needs of women cancer surgeons. And so as a result of that, the group was born. So I think we had our first meeting in the 2023 annual meeting of the SSO. We had a breakfast and it was hugely popular, probably had over 300 people at that breakfast.
And how big is the group and sort of how often does it meet?
So the group, there's about 12 people that I would say are on the working group that address content development and we kind of source topics from other members within the organization. But we have a whole list of people who are interested in helping out and getting involved. The group actually meets in person. So far, it's been twice a year at the annual meeting and then also at the college. That's where we've had in-person meetings in the past. The working group to, go over topics and content, that kind of stuff, probably meets every 6 weeks, something along those lines.
And what are some of the new activities that you've planned for this year?
Our focus in the last year and a half has really been around 3 topics, which is the business of surgical oncology, career and leadership development, and then wellness. And so that's a lot of what we focused on in the past. What we decided to do differently this year was to focus a little bit more on a theme. And the theme is financial health. So we do have a 4-part series that's going to come out in anticipation of the annual meeting. And it's going to address different topics like Finance 101, what's the difference in a balance sheet and a profit and loss sheet, and how might you read those differently? It's going to look at RVUs, billing and coding. That's one of the topics. One of the topics is personal finance as well. We want to make sure we understand finances of our departments and divisions and organizations, but also are we making sure that we're planning for ourselves from a retirement insurance disability perspective? And then the last one is really going to talk about funds flow, if you will. And that's really as a primer leading up to the pre-meeting course that we're having at the annual meeting, where we have we've tasked multiple prior leaders within the SSO and current leaders within the SSO to talk about their experiences about how they've kind of evolved from a clinical surgeon and a research scientist into, leading outside of the operating room, whether it was on Wall Street or whether it's of a major surgical journal and surgical organization and now a medical school. And how do you navigate some of the relationships that you need to have to be a leader in those environments? So that's really what we're planning new. The other thing I'd like to say is we're going to have a wellness lounge at the annual meeting. So we're going to offer massages and refreshments to anyone that wants to stop by. So those are the new things that we have going on. We just had a meeting at the college, and that has been very successful. We've really profiled her surge story. That's what we've called it, where we've identified 3 different women who have different experiences and different pathways in their career to talk about their experiences, lessons learned, regrets, successes, all those kinds of things. So those have been, that's kind of our standard activity, not new, but certainly one that's been well received and is fun to learn about other people's stories.
I think you've accomplished a lot in a very short period of time, and I think there's no question this is going to be a long-standing commitment of the SSO and of the members of your group to really provide a slightly different education and networking opportunity than what has existed previously. So thanks very much for joining us today.
I'm happy to do it. Thanks for the opportunity.